Hi everyone, it's Ms. Spencer. Today we're going to be doing decimal operations. The objective for today is that students will be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals problems. Let's start with problem 1. Gyurme goes to Aggie's after school. He buys a bag of Takis for $1.49 and a soda that is 92 cents. How much money does Gyurme spend at Aggie's? So we see here that the bag of Takis costs $1.49 and the soda is 92 cents. We're trying to figure out how much Gyurme spends in total, so we're going to be adding these two numbers together. The first thing we're going to do is rewrite these numbers vertically, which means one on top of the other. Make sure we line up our place values. Remember, we know that the place values are lined up correctly when the decimals are lined up. Now we're going to start by adding the smallest place value. In these two numbers, the smallest place value is the hundredths place. So we're going to add 9 hundredths plus 2 hundredths, which is 11 hundredths. We're going to carry the 1 to the tenths place. Now, 9 tenths plus 4 tenths is 13 tenths, plus 1 tenth is 14 tenths. We're going to carry the 1 to the ones place. Don't forget the decimal. It always goes to the left of the tenths place. Finally, we're going to add 1 1 plus the 1 1 that we carried over to get 2 ones. So, Gyurme spent $2.41 at Aggie's. Now let's try problem number 2. Gedeon goes to Vinny's for a pizza after school. He buys a slice of pizza for $3.08. If he pays with a $5 bill, how much change will Gedeon receive? So here, the pizza costs $3.08, and he's paying with more money, so he's going to be getting money back. So we want to figure out how much money Gideon's going to receive back. We'll be subtracting these two numbers, 5 minus 3 and 8 hundredths. First, let's start by writing these numbers vertically, which means one on top of the other. Notice that we lined up the place values. The 5 is in the ones place, so it's going on top of the 3 in the ones place. Next, we're going to fill in those empty spaces in the number 5. There's 0 tenths and 0 hundredths, so we can put 0 in both the tenths and the hundredths place and put that decimal between the ones and the tenths place. Now we're going to start by subtracting the smallest place value, which is the hundredths place in both of these numbers. Starting with 0 hundredths minus 8 hundredths, we can't do. We need to regroup all the way from the ones place. So we're going to cross out the 5 and rewrite it as 4 ones because we're going to rewrite one of those ones as 10 tenths. Well, now we can borrow from the tenths place. We can borrow 1 tenth from the tenths place. So now we have 9 tenths left. Since we borrowed 1 tenth, that's the same as 10 hundredths. Now we can subtract 10 hundredths minus 8 hundredths is 2 hundredths. 9 tenths minus 0 tenths is 9 tenths. Don't forget that decimal point. And now 4 ones minus 3 ones is 1 1. So Gedeon will receive $1.92 in change. Problem 3. Alesia bikes after school for 3 and 28 miles. Ashley bikes 2 times further than Alesia. How far does Ashley bike? Well, Alesia is biking for 3 and 28 miles. Ashley is biking twice as far. So we're going to multiply these numbers to figure out how far Ashley bikes. First thing we're going to do is rewrite these numbers or these factors in unit form. We have 328 hundredths times 2 ones. Now we can multiply the whole numbers, 328 times 2, and we get 656. Now we can multiply the place values, hundredths times ones, which is hundredths. Finally, we're going to rewrite this number in standard form. 656 hundredths is the same as 6 and 56 hundredths. We know this because the 6 here is in the hundredths place, pushing the 5 to the tenths place and the 6 to the ones place. Ashley biked 6 and 56 hundredths miles. Problem 4. Liya is making beads out of clay on the weekend. She has 4 and 8 tenths pounds of clay. Each bead will weigh 6 hundredths of a pound. How many beads can Liya make? Well, she has a total amount of 4 and 8 tenths pounds, and she's going to be creating beads so that each one weighs 6 hundredths pounds. Well, when we're distributing the total amount into equal sized groups, we know we're dividing. So we're going to be dividing 4 and 8 tenths divided by 6 hundredths. First thing we're going to do is rewrite both of these numbers in unit form. So we have 48 tenths divided by 6 hundredths. Now we're going to rewrite our dividend, which is this first number here, so that it's matching the same unit as hundredths. So we want to rewrite 48 tenths, which we can see here is 4.8, as hundredths. Here we see there's 0 hundredths. So in the entire number, there's 480 hundredths. Now, because both of these numbers are in the same place value, which is the hundredths place, we can divide the whole number, 480 divided by 6, which is 80, and hundredths divided by hundredths is ones. So 4 and 8 tenths divided by 6 hundredths is 80. Liya can make 80 beads. Last problem. Eden is doing a science experiment to see if plants grow more if they are given more water. She gives plant B twice as much water as plant A. In 1 month, plant A grows 8 and 3400 centimeters, and plant B grows 10 and 5/10 centimeters. How much more did plant B grow than plant A in centimeters? Well, plant A is growing 8 and 3400 centimeters, and plant B is growing 10 and 5/10 centimeters. We can see plant B grew more because 10 and 5/10 is bigger than 8 and 3400. So, when we're trying to find out how much more did one plant grow than the other, we're going to subtract. Make sure that we line these numbers up vertically, which means one on top of the other, lining up the place values. The 5 is in the tenths place, so that's going above the 3 in the tenths place. Now we're going to fill in those empty spaces with zeros because there's 0 hundredths, so we're putting a 0 in the hundredths place, and 0 tenths, so we're putting a 0 in the tens place. Now we can start subtracting with the smallest place value, which is the hundredths place. 0 hundredths minus 4 hundredths we can't do as is, so we need to regroup from the tenths place. We're going to borrow 1/10 or regroup 1/10, so now we have 4 tenths left, and 1/10 is the same as 10 hundredths. So we now have 10 hundredths minus 4 hundredths, which is 6 hundredths. 4 tenths minus 3 tenths is 1/10. Don't forget the decimal point. 0 ones minus 8 ones we can't do as is, so we're going to regroup from the tens place. We're going to regroup 1/10, so we have 0 tens left. 1/10 is the same as 10 ones. So now we can subtract 10 ones minus 8 ones, which is 2 ones. So plant B grew 2 and 16 hundredths centimeters more than plant A.